So guys, welcome to another gardening video on my channel. Today we're gonna be giving you 10 crops that you should be growing in winter. We're gonna be starting them together, okay? I hope you guys enjoy. I hope it's helpful. I hope it gets you going with the garden, with the winter garden. All right, I love you guys all. Let's go straight into the video. Let's do it. So the first crop that you should have is some radish. But before we start planting, we gotta shift some things, okay? So basically with the radish, the best thing that I would say is to start it in the ground. Don't start by putting them in pots and then transplanting them. Start them in the ground. And what I found is that when you just kind of, you just spread the soil out a bit, like this, water. Also make sure that you have watered the garden if it's not wet. In the Benoni region or Gauteng, it hasn't really been raining a lot, so I had to actually water the garden. So yeah, just make sure that you soften the soil a bit, just till it a bit, not too much, just so that we have some space for the radish to grow. That's all we gotta do. Radish, so good, so nice. It's one of the quicker crops that grow in the garden. This one, that it will be one of the first ones to sprout up, so definitely get them in the garden. This one is the garden radish sparkle, okay? Sparkler, actually. What my method is, I just like to take the seeds and then basically just sprinkle on where I have tilled. So where I have lightly tilled, that's where I'm going to put the radish. So yeah, we have the seeds and we have the ground, right? So all I like to do is just to sprinkle, obviously, right, as anyone else's. You can have your different methods of growing, right? My one, I think I'm the lazy gardener, so so I just like to basically make it as simple as it can be for me. So I just like to sprinkle all the radish seeds, and you can see that most of them are just landing on the top of the actual soil. There's no real directions of how the spacing and all of this. What I've also found with radish is that radish, they really can be grown closer together. Then what I do is this: I just cover up. See where I see any seeds that are bare, I just kind of put them underneath the ground, just to make sure that they are in the ground. Another best way to also do this is basically, if you have like compost or soil, you can just lay it on top of the soil that's already been tilled, so that basically then you are making sure that all the seeds are covered. Okay, then what I would do after this is just water in again, just to make sure that all of the radishes have been waterized. And that's it. Simple, easy, fast. Within a week, 2 weeks, you will see some of the sprouts of the radish. So definitely get you some. See this one, still have to get some of these guys in there. Get you some radish in the garden, guys, please. Then the next crop and the best friend of the radish is carrots, and I'm going to be literally planting them together in the same spot. Also with the carrots, you can literally grow them the same way that I did with the radish. What I've actually found is that the radish do well when you do that method of basically just laying them on top, like sprinkling them on top of the ground, and then covering them up with some soil or some compost. I'm actually gonna try another method just so that I can show you all of the methods for planting these root crops. And as I said, the carrots and the beetroot and the radish, they really like each other. They are best friends, companion plants, so they will really grow nicely together. Okay, so carrots, again, what I did with this one, so it's different to the method that I did for the radish, but this one I basically just drew up some lines. So I just made some lines here. You can see I made some lines here just to space them a bit. and basically we're gonna just sprinkle the carrot seeds in there, sprinkle some carrot seeds, and then cover, and that's it. You'll be done. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do right now. I also wanted to give you the variety of the carrots that I'm using, and this is the Nant carrot. So yeah, the Nant carrot, it's pretty good, pretty thin as well, goes really well. So yep, right now we're just gonna sprinkle some of the carrots. And I think in some areas you'll probably plant more than usual, and this is just the method. This is just what happens with this method. But yeah, basically we just sprinkle, and then after this we're just gonna cover. And yeah, also try and not make the width of the lines too deep. Don't make them too deep, because with carrots they really do struggle with popping up again. So yeah, basically what I would just recommend is don't plant them too deep, right? Okay, and that's it, and that's all for the carrots. And then basically we just cover lightly, right? Lightly we just cover the soil. And then what we could do afterwards as well is just water them in, just to make sure that everything has been watered and they're ready to grow. Okay, lightly guys, please. Don't say I didn't tell you, because the carrots, the carrots are a problem. Other people also put cardboard, so basically you can just put the seeds on top of the soil and then cover it with cardboard, and then once they start growing, then you remove the cardboard, and then you can add some more little bit of soil and you're good to go. But yeah, these are the methods that I like to use. So yeah, it's up to you. I gave you so many. Then we move to another great crop for the winter. We have some lettuce. Okay, this lettuce, it's called the little gem. This one grows really fast, really quickly, really hardy for the winter season. And as you can see here, we have a bunch of the lettuce just growing here, and this should show you that these are really easy to grow. I actually didn't anticipate to have this many, and yeah, basically I tried to also thin so that they're all not too close to each other. But yeah, basically the lettuce, so many, so great, they all do really well together. So yeah, definitely a nice companion would be the nasturtium. This one just keeps away the bugs that like to go into the lettuce. But definitely this one likes to pair up with also some spinach. Okay, but we'll talk about the spinach later. Okay, but yeah, lettuce, really nice one, really great to grow. You can grow the lettuce fairly close with each other. Basically what I would always say is just 30 centimeters. That's by 30 centimeters, that should be enough distance for all the lettuce, and you should be fine. Basically you just dig a little hole like a normal, just like normal, just have a little hole, got some thing in here, got some lettuce in here, and you can see the seeds are pretty small. So then you just plant in. Doesn't matter if you plant a lot, it's gonna happen. These are very small seeds. Then you just literally cover in there, and you have, then you can place them all next door to each other. So yeah, lettuce, definitely get that in the garden. Then next we have some broad beans. This is called the long pod. Hey. So this one is called the long pod aquadulce. So yeah, basically what I really like about this one, hardy for the winter season, really grows well in the winter. And I have to show you the seeds. The seeds are so beautiful. Look at the seeds. Hold on, I'm trying to get one out. Look at that. Looks like a dinosaur egg. Look at that. So we have the seeds for the broad beans. These ones definitely can be paired with the lettuce, as I mentioned before. So definitely pairing them up with some lettuce will do wonders. So already I've put out some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes that you can use to get to get the broad beans. And the spacing, again, 30 centimeters by 50 centimeters. These ones grow a lot more taller, so just make sure that you have some space. But these can also be grown indoors in pots as well. Maybe put 2 in a reasonable or medium sized pot, and you could have some broad beans, you know. So yeah, definitely this one. Though also with beans, the more you harvest, the more you get out. So definitely once they start growing, just harvest. Okay, so we're gonna have some broad beans. We're gonna put some here, and I also had some broad beans that I started in the pods, and I actually have to show you because one I actually took out by mistake. Okay, so there's this one, and it was growing so nicely, and I just took it out by mistake. I wanted to actually see if anything is growing, and things were growing. So I was actually really happy to see that, you know, they were doing the magics. So this one I'm actually just gonna put it into the ground because I don't want to mess it up more. So I'm just gonna put it into here. Just gonna stick it in here. Yeah, buddy. Just gonna let that grow there nicely. Let the boy gotta do what he gotta do. So yeah, broad beans, definitely a nice one to be growing in the garden. Do it, come on guys. So the next crop that's a must in the garden, in the winter garden, is spinach and Swiss chard. Okay, so we have both here because I actually want to fill out more of the garden with some spinach and some Swiss chard. With the spinach, I actually haven't found so much success with direct sowing it, so I actually want to try and do it in the seed pods. So that's how I'm gonna do it. You can see the seeds pretty nice. So yeah, the spinach, just basically here I've actually just put in some soil, and I'm sure you're wondering what's the white these white particles. This is called perlite. So it just aerates the soil, so it helps with the aeration of the soil. And yeah, I've also just dug a little hole in these little pods, just so that the spinach can just be inserted in there. And then yeah, we're done with the spinach. So yeah, spinach also very easy, very hardy to grow. This is also one of the quicker crops that grow in the garden. And also again, the more you harvest, the more you get out. You can even see here now the spinach. This one, there's also another spinach that has been in the garden, and it's been here for since I started the garden, and it's been here since. So with no problems, with no issues, just as long as you harvest, yeah, then they'll be fine. Then now we are just going to be planting the Swiss chard. Guys, also if you're starting in seed pods, please just make sure that you label. And I'm telling you this because I have a tendency of not labeling. So but then once you get to a certain point, you don't actually you don't know what's actually growing, and yeah, it just makes things a lot harder to actually determine how to take care of it and everything, because you're wondering, what is this, what's going on here, what's growing. And it also, just for future, it helps a lot better, it helps a lot more, because then you know what grows well in your garden, you know. So definitely just label SC Swiss chard, and then the spinaches, broad beans. Okay, so I don't want to fully give up on direct sowing the spinach, so I'm going to also try direct sowing it here. We have some seeds here, and I've just dug up a little hole in between the spaces that haven't been filled up with the spinach. So yeah, I haven't completely given up, and then see how it actually develops. Let's see. Then we move to the next one, which is onion. This is the last that I have of onion. This is the last ones, the last seeds I have of onion. Yeah, I have like about 5 in there. So yeah, this is like the last hope that I have of growing onion. And yeah, let's just hope that they actually do something. And yeah, let's, oh my word, I've tried to grow onions so many times, and they just haven't been able to germinate even. So yeah, what I would always say is try and start them in the seed trays, because this one I've seen that at least this one, it has a higher germination rate. Or you can already get them in the stores, the seedlings, and then just plant them into your garden. I like to do from seed because I'm a difficult guy. But yeah, definitely get some onions in there. This one deters a lot of insects. Then last but not least, we move to the flowers, and here we have some pansies. We have some gazania, which is indigenous to South Africa. Then we also have some chrysanthemums, Then we have some African daisy, which again is also indigenous to South Africa. So let's get started with the boys and the girls. Okay, so we're gonna get some pansies. Again, these ones, flowers, I've also really struggled with germinating them. So I definitely will be starting them in the trays. I will also direct sow them, just so that we can see a comparison of which one grows better, whether it's direct sowing them or growing them in the ground. So as you can see, I've labeled the pansy section. So I'm just gonna let me just drop one in there. Okay, good. Okay, good. And we'll drop some more in there. There it is. Good. We drop some more in there. So let me just take one of these and just drop them in here. Good. There we go. And then we have some pansies that should be growing soonish. Okay, just let's put them inside here, just so that they're inside the soil. And yeah, let's see how well they actually grow. Then we're gonna move to the African daisy. The African daisy has a lot bigger seeds. These ones look a lot bigger. Let me just take out one or two, and you can see here these ones are a lot bigger. So we're just gonna sprinkle in there as well, and then put some one over there, and then we just have to cover these. Okay, so let's just put one in there. Yo guys, you know how hard it is to to film and to plant at the same time. Hey, it's tough, my man. Okay, so we have there, we have some over there, and then let me just stick this guy deeper in there, and now we have some African daisies. So we should have some African daisies growing. Okay, so now we're moving to the gazania. Their seeds are a lot thinner, and here we just go into, and you see I've labeled, we're just gonna sprinkle in there. One went in. Then there's another little nana that we should, there we go. I think they went in. Okay, just to make sure, we're gonna sprinkle in there, and then we just cover. Let's just cover the boys and wait for some gazania. Then the last one we have are chrysanthemums. So these ones also, let's just sprinkle, and we just sprinkle, and we just sprinkle. I'm even putting in some of the pansies. It's okay. Then we just put in, and we make sure that we cover the soil with the pansies, with the chrysanthemums, and we're done, guys. Let's go direct sow these. So with the chrysanthemums, I'm just gonna sprinkle again, just to make sure that we cover some of the things. Here we go. We even maybe gonna put some there. Let's just put some there. And also I would also say try and also label also over here. Here we're gonna have some African daisy. Cover that up. Let me get another one. Some African daisy over here as well. Let's sprinkle some gazania over here. Okay, there we have the gazania. Then we have some gazania over there. Let's cover that up. And then with the last one, with the pansies. over there. Good. So now we have some pansies, some Kazania, some African daisy, and some chrysanthemums. Yeah, guys, so that will be the end of the video. I hope it was helpful. You know, I hope it inspired you to go out in the garden and get your winter crops going. Okay. So yeah, hey guys, yeah, I know. I'm excited that we have some winter crops. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. And that will be next week on Sunday. I love you guys all. Love, peace, grow every single day.